People have been evacuated from the General Mills plant because of a carbon dioxide leak. That's in Kansas City. 41 Action News reporter Andres Gutierrez is live at the scene. Andres, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Cynthia, more than 100 workers here at the General Mills plant have been evacuated because of a carbon dioxide leak. I'm being joined right now with the Fire Battalion Chief James Garrett, who is here on scene. Just tell me, what's the situation like so far?
Well, we have readings of carbon dioxide, so we had to evacuate over 110 workers right now. We are set up our operations. We're checking levels, rechecking levels, things of that nature, trying to find out the source of the leak.
At this point, is there any possibility of an explosion?
No possibility of explosion right now. What the levels that we have right now is acting as an asphyxiant, and that is it displaces the oxygen in the air, makes it hard for you to breathe. So we're trying to make sure that we keep people out of harm's way.
Are there ambulances on standby in case workers do have to be taken to the hospital?
Absolutely, but at this point we have all workers out of what we call a hot zone or a danger zone, so not so much of a danger of that right now.
Is there a time frame as to when these workers will be able to go back to work?
Don't have an answer for that right now. What we have to do is we have to check those levels, make sure that they're at a proper level or a level that's not dangerous to individuals going into work in that environment. So,
what could cause a leak like this?
Quite a few things could cause a leak like that. So we don't know the answer to that right now. So we're gathering all that information so we can get it to you as quick as we can.
Perfect. Battalion Chief James Garrett here. Appreciate the information. Again, more than 100 workers evacuated here at the General Mills plant. They are been evacuated outside east of where we are right now here. We're gathering more information as we learn it. We'll, of course, pass it along to you. Reporting live in the East Bottom section of Kansas City this morning, Andres Gutierrez, 41 Action News.
All right, Andres, thanks. Let's go to Krista Duville now, who continues our team coverage on the General Mills plant from our newsroom. Krista, what have you been learning about the emergency and that plant?
So the emergency, I thought Andres did a really great job getting the very latest from Chief Garrett there. One of the things we do know about the building and the General Mills plant, sorry guys, breaking news. One of the things we have learned about the plant is that they make Bisquick. They do fine milling of fine flour, and so that's one of the reasons for concern about the explosion, which you just heard the chief say has now expired, but because of that fine powder and this condensed leak, they wanted to make sure that was the case. The picture of the building we got from there in the East Bottoms of Kansas City area, the northeast side. Captain Greg Borden overhead with Skytracker getting a great shot of all of the workers outside. Captain, you've been doing this in our city for a long time. Tell us what you're seeing and about what area of the city you're in.
Okay, as far as the area of the city, Krista, this is going to be, like you said, in the industrial East Bottoms, kind of on the near west side, if that makes sense. So, folks, a lot of people know where Chestnut is, and this is Gwinnett. So just kind of below the bluff from the Kansas City Museum. It's kind of in the middle of a rail yard. You can see that this plant is, of course, served by quite a bit of rail capacity. And as James widens out, you can see right there that nothing that we can see, obviously, from there has happened to the plant. There's no smoke, certainly no fire or anything like that. A pretty big turnout by the Kansas City, Missouri Fire Department, and you can see that they have pretty much assembled on the west side of the building right there. Krista.
All right. Thank you, Captain. We're seeing the fire crews there on the scene. We're told ambulances, as Andres just mentioned, they're on the scene. And the reason for that is because of carbon dioxide at small levels is pretty harmless, but it is used in these sorts of plants. But if it is high exposure, it can lead to things like breathing issues, heart issues, and can also lead to some impaired consciousness. So they'll be checking out those workers and continue to work on this developing scene. We'll continue to follow this here on 41 Action News, our mobile app. We're on all the social platforms too, making sure that you're informed in the best way you need to get news of the day. Cynthia, for now, until there are new developments, we'll send it back to you up in the studio.